What's up guys, it's me Janne here, back again for another video and for another year. And in today's video I'll be showing you guys the basics of how to make a skin for RBR using GIMP, the free photo editing software. And I think this is quite highly applicable also to Photoshop and other photo editor softwares as well, but I'm familiar with GIMP, so that's why I'm using it here as a base. And first things first, the texture files of cars and pretty much everything else in Richard Burns Rally are .dds files. So you need a DDS plugin for GIMP in order to export DDS files. So hit the link in the description, the first one, there's going to be plenty, and download the DDS plugin. And there's a README file with really simple instructions on how to install the DDS plugin. If you can't do that, I really can't help you. And after that, hit the second link in the description and go to rbrtemplates.blogspot.com. I hope I got the address right. Regardless, second link in description. There's a list of templates for all the cars, which are really useful for making skins for RBR cars. And yeah, just download the car that you want to work on and then extract it and open the external file or whatever it's called. There's always slight differences, but you know, the external file located in the folder, you'll recognize it. It's the one with the car sort of like unwrapped all the way onto the canvas. And now we will move into GIMP with that said external file, and I'll walk you through making a skin for car in RBR with GIMP. I'd smile more, but I had my wisdom teeth removed and smiling hurts. And yeah, it was like 2 days ago, so it would be embarrassing if it would hurt like half a year after getting them removed, but it was 2 days ago, so it's still a bit sore. Alright, here we have the Polo R5 template, which is pretty much the car spread out onto a flat image. And we have the template here, we have the wireframe, which we are now fiddling with, so we can see kind of like where the wireframe or how the car is constructed really, and we can use it later on if we want to align the lines that go over the panel gaps, like in here for example, or over here in the fenders and whatnot, also going from hood to the fenders here. And yeah, the possibilities are endless. Then we have MISC number 1, which has some shading and some shading mainly, and then we have MISC, which is the parts mostly, and then we have damage as well, which we will apply later on, and then we have our paint layer over here. And we're going to do like a really simple Corf livery here today with white and turquoise and red. And we have our base paint layer. Be cautious with different templates. Some templates do have a interesting beginning order with the layers. You might need to fix them, but make sure that your paints are always underneath the layer where are shadows and everything, so you can get the actual shadows on your car. And as we want to have the car's base color as white, we won't make any sort of a paint thing over here, but then we want to have a blue pattern, so we make a new layer called blue pattern, and then we start forming some patterns here with pat tool. And I'm thinking that we could use maybe like we could have a blue fender here, and then it could extend to the rear bumper. And what we want to do now is we want to zoom in a bit more, so well, not maybe that much yet. Zoom in a bit more so we can get like a really accurate places for our anchors here with the path tool, because it's better to have a really accurate thing, really like accurate models and whatnot, instead of having like just a bit like that way or that direction instead of being thorough. And now we are just aligning this first part of the fender here, close to that. And the reason why I'm using paths tool is because I can now grab this line and just move it to the direction I want to, and I can adjust it quite like extensively as well to create different types of shape. But now we just want to simple curving shape. I think that we should stick somewhere around there. And then now that we have our curvy shape in place, we press Shift and V so the path becomes a selection. Then we can just fill that with blue. And we can recognize here that this is also part of the rear fender part, and we want to have a continuous blue thing going on, so we want to select that as well. But that we can do with the free selection tool. Here we can't do any cool those cornering shapes or whatever, so we need to do a bit more of anchors here on the curvy parts. But as it's not visible on the skin itself, it doesn't really matter. And when you've completed the circuit, so to say, the outline, then you can just press again on any tool really, and it makes that the selection with the free tool. And now we have supposedly a blue fender. Now what we want to do is to go and see in Richard Burns Rally if that fender is really blue, and if this line here is good or if it's absolutely horrible. And for that we need to export the image for the first time. All of this needs to be on the same layer, so we're going to do Control and M, so we're going to merge all the layers. You can see they are only here, and there's also the damage layer, but it's not visible, so it won't be saved on the car yet. Then we're going to go export, and we're going to go to the RBR folder. Then we're going to go to cars, and then we're going to find Polo GTI textures, and we're going to overwrite Polo GTI R5 external DDS, because this is the same image as we have here but with the design on, and we want to export and overwrite this, so the one here on our screen becomes the new paint on the car. And the compression should be always BC3/DXT5, and you should generate bitmaps. And now we will hop on to RBR to visualize our new skin. And now we are here in Rigid Bones Rally with the car in place. We're gonna double click with the right to get the Pace Note plugin camera out, and I usually use the bird view to get different to move the camera around to get the visuals I need for the skin I'm making. And yeah, it seems that the shade fender here is blue like we wanted. That's really good. And we can see that it continues all the way here to the rear fender or rear bumper as well. So I think we could make all the rear bumper blue, and then this one as well all the way there blue, and then find something else to do with the red one. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to GIMP like that. We're going to undo, so we get all the layers different from each other again, and then we can select these two with the what is this called, fuzzy select tool, so it selects the same color parts. And now we can just copy these, and we can flip them. Oh shit, I forgot. We can select these, we can copy them, we can paste them. I forgot to paste them earlier on. But now we have a floating selection here, floating layer, meaning that we can now flip it and then we can move it to somewhat close there. We're gonna change it, but we're gonna need some something of a closer look, really. I think this should be close. Did I move it accidentally? No, I did not. Yeah, it looks good. It looks close to the similar place as it was on the other side. And now we can either anchor it, which means it becomes attached to the layer where this other blue is, like this. And now when we move these, only these blue stripes move. Or if we're not absolutely sure yet, as we're not, if that is the right place, we undo a bit so we get a floating layer again, and we press here to make it a new layer. So now this blue shape is its own layer, and I can move it around here, and it does nothing to anything else, just moves itself. But now we want to see again, so we merge and then we export. Yeah, I'm using shortcuts because I'm gangster. And then what we need to do here is we need to restart so the changes get applied to the car. And now we can see there's also on the left we have a blue fender here, and that is really good. Next up we want to do, well, as we have the wireframe visible here, we can take a look here that what is going to be our line that we want to follow when we're making stuff blue in the template. Again, it's going to be really tricky if you don't keep the wireframes on here on the editing part, so you might as well. And one more look, it's that one right there we're going to follow. And undo so we get the separate layers again. Go to blue pattern, 200 at least to get a proper zoom, and path selection, because now we're going to do some fine curvatures. And all we need to do is press 2 anchors there, and then we move this. Oh, this is a bit, no, I can't do that. I need to put that one there and then delete it so I can move this a bit. And now I can move these to these anchor points or whatever they are called, so I can get the shape to be exactly what I want. And I'd say that we're inching closer to the shape we are desiring here. I'd say that is good. Then we click here so we can continue the selection. No, we couldn't. So we need to click again here. Zoom out a bit, not that much. 100 would have been just fine. Go all the way here and zoom in again. And make another angle there and one there. And we can do the same line here as well with the path selection tool. Alternatively, you could do it like putting anchors like closely to each other on the free selection tool, but then you can't really adjust the shape as much as we can here. And I think I'm going to take a bit more shit. I'm not going to take a bit more of shit, but I'm going to take a bit more of zoom here to get a better look where our shape is going. And that looks really good to me. Then we select that, zoom out a bit, and we can just outline the rest of the bumper here, really. We want to stay quite close. although this is the bottom layer, all the misks are on top of it. So basically what we can do is we can also be less delicate with our wireframe stuff. We can cut all the way to here, or then we can just cut through here. We can make it go around there as well, and it won't show because all of the other stuff is under the parts layer. So we move that one there, and we then do Shift V to get a selection again, and now we can just bucket fill this, and it only provides color onto those body parts that are included in our selection, but that are underneath these layers here, and that is good. Now we can select all, and we can merge again, export again, and restart again to see how the rear bumper is looking. Yeah, brilliant. It's looking really good, just like we wanted. All we want to do now is to make this, you can see the underbody there, this, or whatever this is called, this is still white. We want to make that turquoise as well. And then we want to make this small flap here turquoise as well, so it will be like a continuous turquoise bit going from here all the way. So we go back and we find those pieces, and here on the template we can see again, we will undo, and we can see, zoom in a bit, that this looks like that part we had on the car. So we can just free select it, and as we are on the proper layer soon, we can just be somewhat careless with our selection here, like this, and fill it. But we need to be on the proper layer again, because now we are here on the wire layer, and it put it all on top of everything. Undo, go back to the blue pattern and put it there, and now it's underneath the shadows and whatnot, and now we have that part correctly. And then we need to see also that which of the, I think it's not the upper line, but one beneath that small line, that's where we want our trunk turquoise or trunk blue to be. So what we're going to do again is paths, one anchor there, another one over here. Actually, let's make sure that it is the same one over. Yeah, it is the same one over here, because they are not always symmetrical. Then round it all the way here and make the one anchor. Actually, let's put it that way so we can actually guarantee it's the proper way. And now we just try to get that path aligned with the line. So when we bucket fill this soon, this whole area comes just filled and nothing else, just the way we want it to be. Say somewhere there is quite good. We can take it back a bit as well. Seems to go in place regardless. And again, Shift V to get it as a selection. There. And again, merge and export from Control E. When you're just overwriting it again and again and again, then you can use the export shortcut. And another restart, so we can see if the car is as it should. Yeah, looks good enough to me. I mean, I could go into more detail if I was making this to be my, you know, like a VRC skin or something, but no, I really can't be asked because this is just to show you guys. And now we have a small blue area here. Maybe we want to add something to the front as well, maybe not. Just for the sake of learning, I think we have showcased what you need to do to make different areas to be colored differently. And again, undo to get the wires, the layers out, and maybe a bit more again. And yeah, it's really that simple. Now we could do some brush things as well, but I don't have brushes installed on this computer. I have them on my other computer, my laptop. But sorry, I'll put some curve stickers just there. You just need to interact with that one just to get it reacting. And now before we paste the sticker there, we're going to do another pattern called stickers, and I'll show you why. Now as we paste it here, it's not that big. Something I've heard various times, and I have a wrong tool selection there. Now we can put it, for example, here and be happy with it. And then we can anchor it down. And now as they are different layers, that needs to be merged down. As the stickers and the blue pattern are different layers, I can still edit the blue pattern without influencing or interacting with the core racing team sticker at all, or the other way around. I can edit this sticker without influencing with the blue one, but if they are the same layer like I just did. Now if I want to delete the COOF team sticker, I'm also deleting a bit of the blue shape as well. So yeah, you want to keep your stickers and shapes and anything that overlaps on different layers so you can edit them without causing any issues. And then we're gonna select the sticker and we're gonna copy it and paste it so we can put it on the other side as well. Yes, this is gonna be an ugly car, but this is just for learning purposes. And now we can agree that our skin is ready. And when you are doing, you know, like a final save of sorts, then you want to take out the wireframe, and then you need to Control merge or Control M to merge, and then export again. And now we are gonna restart again, and now we can see that the fenders are colored beautifully and the curve text is there, but the wireframe isn't. And despite being really simple, we basically have our ready skin now, which is good to go. Well, it is good to go until someone crashes our car. And now we can we are back in the cockpit view, and we can see that here are still some remainings of the old skin. So that is bad. So we're gonna go outside and look a bit, and we're gonna see that the car is, well, missing wheels, and it has all the old textures as well until we press show car exterior, and now it is again our own livery again. So this means we're heading back to GIMP, and we are selecting a file, and we're gonna do export as, and we're gonna export it as, on some cars it's car name underscore internal, but we can see that this doesn't look at all the same as the skin file. So we're gonna do a wild guess, and it's gonna be Polo GTI R5 internal X that we're going to overwrite here. We're going to replace that. We're going to generate maps like before. We're going to go back to RBR and restart the stage. And now you can see from different views, with or without the skin or the exterior being shown, that the skin stays, and that is good. Now we can drive a bit. Before we accidentally go off the road. Oh no! That sucks. We need to call for help. We go out and you can see the old skin coming from underneath. Again, we're going to change the view, and yeah, you can see that the old skin is coming from underneath. That is because there is a different scrape layer still to the car, which gets activated gradually when you crash the car, meaning we go back again to the template, and now we put on the damage, and again we merge, and now we're going to export as external scrape, because that's the same file but with the damage thing on, and we're going to export that, and again DXT5 and meep maps. And now we can restart again and then crash again, and the car should just start to showcase some damage, but it shouldn't start to showcase the old colors anymore. Again, we're unfortunately going off the bridge. No! Oh, such a catastrophe. And we are moving still. We shouldn't be moving anymore. Regardless. Now you can see the car got damaged. You can see some damage to the car, but it's still displaying the correct skin. That is because now we have the proper scrape layer. So when you're making the body files, the external and internal files, you need to create the external file, the internal file, and scrape files, I'd guess for both, because now when we go here, well, yeah, you can't see scrapes, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, those are the three things that you need to do when you are creating a skin file. When you have a ready skin, you need to export it as internal, external, and as a scrape file. On some cars, also as the internal scrape file or int.ext scrape or something like that. Next up, we have the windows, because the windows are still featuring Peter Solberg and Vero Engen and their numbers and whatnot. We don't want that. We want them gone. And remove those window stickers. We have here the original file, the window texture file, and then we have a template. And the templates on GIMP, they don't always work as they are supposed to, because this is not see-through and this is. So what I'll do here is first off I'll select the color of the window here, pick it from there, and then I'm gonna select these with the free selection, and I'll just delete it. Now I'll try, and through trial and error I'll find what is the good amount of transparency for here to have. And we can see that this is still too much. You can see a clear border here, so we need to have less of opacity. And this is then again too little, because we can again see some borders here. So now we just need to try a bit more. Still a bit too light, maybe 40. Yeah, 40 seems good, or 40.5. Now we can also delete the other stickers as well. And no, I'm not saying that this is the only way to make it work. You can probably make the templates work as well, but I really haven't been arsed to do it. And now we have a clean rear side windows. Next, what we want is we want this WRC or live sticker to go away, and also these RACC stickers and this 49. And that's going to be a bit trickier, but still possible thing to do. We're going to take a bit of zoom again, and we're going to select somewhat closely around the sticker, just so that the sticker gets removed completely. But we won't, so that we won't still too much affect the other parts of the sticker or the image yet. Now we have that one there, and we can again delete it and then fill it again. And you can see there's a bit of a gap here in the Volkswagen Motorsport sticker. Don't worry, it will get handled. Yeah, so now we have fuzzy selected this, and then we're going to invert it again. Control I is the magic word for it. And now we can be a bit more, a bit less careful with the deletions. We can go with the eraser here and just delete the glass in completely from the back. But there are those small wires that are still in the rear window, you know, the heater things and whatnot. So now we're gonna fill it again. Not all of the picture shit. We're gonna fuzzy select that, and then we're gonna fill that. Now we have the rear window, but without those wires going through, those heating wires. And this is where this mostly useless template comes into play. We go over here, zoom in a bit, and we fuzzy select. Yeah, the threshold is too low again. We need to up it a bit. Yeah, we get that, and then we hold shift so we can add into the selection. We add all the wires. For some reason it didn't add that one or that other wire either, so we're gonna increase the threshold a bit. Now we have all the wires there. We can just copy them and add them here, and they are not in the right place. Let's go back. We can copy them here. Yeah, copy, and then we're gonna add them here, so we have a new layer. So we can make this layer now image size, whole image size, but it still features just these wires. We copy that, then we go here, paste it, and now they are in place perfectly, and we put them down there, and now we have almost good the window files. All we need to do now is do another fuzzy select. We want to get the window file or the window borders for the front window, and so we can copy them and replace that small hole there. So we're gonna copy, and we're gonna again paste here, so we can make it a new layer, and we can again make the layer to image size, and we can copy it and paste it here, and now we have an intact place. And of course it can be tricky trying to place where exactly you need to put the things here, so we can still copy the wire layer as well, make it just image size, copy and paste. So we have now the wireframe to our aid as well, and we want to make that into another layer because we want to be able to turn it off and on again. And then we're just gonna do a bit of stickering, something there like Lahanen. I don't know whose last name is that. That's really embarrassing. But now we have Lahanen there, and we can copy and paste and move another one over there and make that a new layer so it will be visible as well. And that's how you reverse engineer. from using the template and the original window file, these different you make these transparent files, and then again merge visible layers, and we're gonna override external transparent. We're gonna go into the game and see how it's looking now. It looks good. There you have Lahanen, and then you have Volkswagen Motorsport, but no VLC.
3, 2,
But again,
1, aja.
we take this off. Well, this car doesn't have interior window files, it seems. But regardless, we're gonna actually, let's change this camera. Now we can see with the exterior on, you don't have any stickers here, but exterior off, you have the interior file again, or internal transparent in play, which means that this is back here, which means that we need to go back here and export it as also as internal transparent, which is the same layer, but just, or the same file, but just under a different name. And also, we can see here that there's also an internal scrape here that we need to use as well. So, shit. So we export and internal scrape. So now we won't have the original skin pop up after any crash or anything. We will have only the Corf Racing Team really ugly livery here. And same here as well. We restart and you won't see that window banner again on the inside. Yeah, it's gone. And there you have a livery.
2, 1, aja.
And now we have a car exterior view, and it only displays these interior glass files from the inside of the car. So when we go there inside, you can see it. You can see there's Lahanen behind the roll bars and whatnot, but you can't see it from the outside because it's not an outer or external file, but an internal file. And yeah, I hope this wasn't too complicated or too boring, but that is the very basics of how to make a skin for a car. And yeah, the possibilities are endless what you can create here. You can create multiple cool shapes, you can create more matte car or more chrome car and whatnot, but all of that I'll explain on another video, because this has been going too long already, and this has been way too not logically moving forward guide. But I hope this was helpful for all of you, and yeah, I'll see you guys again later on with another video and maybe another stream at some time as well. But that is all for now. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. Bye. Still hurts.